So Lily,
Lilly.
Yep.
Lilly. So, how long have you been going to school here?
I just started. I'm a freshman, so it's my
Freshman.
second week on campus.
Nice, good. And what's your major?
I'm majoring in exercise science, and then I'm on the pre-PT path, so physical therapy.
Okay. And like, how did you get into wanting to do this?
Well, I always knew that I wanted to do something in the medical field because I like helping people, and it's good money, and I didn't want to go to school for so long, so I didn't think like med school or anything would interest me. So, um, PT school is just a 2-year graduate program, so it's not that much more school
Yeah.
than a typical 4-year degree.
Yeah.
So,
So out of the two things, helping people and you make a lot of money, which one do you personally weigh higher?
well, the helping people one, obviously, but you
Okay.
want a good profession that gets you good money and keeps you stable in life.
Right, yeah, because the way we're structured, you need money.
Yeah,
Money's, yeah,
yeah,
money's important.
yeah.
Good. Does anybody else in your family do exercise therapy stuff or medical things or?
No, my mother is a middle school principal, and my dad works for these apartment complexes. He does maintenance and stuff. And my mom has her doctorate, so she has her PhD in education. So her like main goal when she wanted to become an educator, principal, was to help people like benefit her students. And she like has been like starting a lot of new things for her school, so it's just like I've always been raised around like her wanting to help people and her wanting what's best for people, so that's kind of why I got interested in the medical field, because I knew I didn't want to be a teacher or anything like
Yeah.
that. So
So helping runs in the family,
yeah,
helping people.
Yeah.
That's good. Good. So, yeah, so today I guess I'm just looking for, is there anything that you would want other people to understand about the world that you understand and maybe they don't?
um I mean, the only thing like this past week, like seeing so many new faces, you're just walking by people you don't know, you've never seen on campus a lot. It's made me think about like, everyone has their own life, their own issues they might have going on, their own struggles, or maybe it's their even the positives going on in their life. And so what I've just been thinking about is trying not to judge a book by its cover and understand that everyone has like things going on, and so you shouldn't judge other people or stuff. And if you see someone having a bad day, like, everyone's been there, we all have our times, so you just got to be kind to people.
I like that. That's a good takeaway for the first week of school.
Yeah, I've just been seeing people on campus, and it's like, oh, you might think that guy he looks mean, or that girl like looks like she's not having a great day, and maybe they aren't. Maybe that guy was looking not very happy because he has other things going on, and like you'll never be able to like fully step into someone else's shoes. So it's just important to like be kind to each other.
Yeah. Are there any downsides to being kind to everybody?
Yeah, definitely. It like people could take advantage of you, or like just walk all over you. But I think it's still, I feel like everybody would rather be kind than be mean. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So would be a good way for us to protect ourselves, or what's the middle ground, or that how do we decide what the middle ground is there?
I mean, for me, I would say treat people how you're treated. So, but firstly, that you should be kind to others. But if, you're being kind and it's not being reciprocated, then you don't need to be mean, but maybe just be like don't show your kindness as much towards that person.
So are there any times where we should not be kind?
I mean,
Can you think of any scenarios where it's not beneficial to be kind in this specific scenario?
if someone's disrespecting you, maybe, I feel like it's normal and like kind of a human instinct to stick up for yourself. And you don't have to do it in necessarily a rude way, but I feel like all the times wouldn't come off as kind. Because
Yeah.
if someone's being mean to you, I mean, you kind of I feel like all people, like it's not a good thing to be mean, but it just happens. And if someone's being disrespectful or mean to you, you kind of have the instinct to want to be mean back. Because like I feel like humans just, if they're being hurt, they want that person hurting them to also feel like that.
Yeah. Do you feel like, is that something that you do generally, try to hurt people back, or do you stop and sit back and think, or what's the best way to
I mean,
for Lilly to
it
do
definitely just depends on the situation. You know, there's times when, you know, you act without thinking, like you are all, like your emotions have been bottled up and you kind of just like lash out or burst out. And that definitely happens to me sometimes. But there's also situations where, like, I do step back and I take a look at the whole grand scheme of a situation and try to, like, understand, like, what I was talking about earlier, that, oh, maybe that person's being mean because they have something else going on. And so trying to step back and understand why a person might be doing that, I think is helpful in trying to, like, resolve conflict with people or, like, take care of situations.
So in those situations, um, if you've got somebody who's having that attitude toward you,
Yeah.
like what do you recommend people do?
I mean, obviously, the best thing to do is to not do it back. So I would recommend, like, you know, trying not to lash out, try to control your emotions. But, like, it's also understandable if that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Do you ever just say, "What's going on today?"
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
maybe that's a good recommendation. Ask them, like,
Yeah.
how's your day going?
How's your day? Something I can help you with?
Yeah. Like, kill them with kindness, I think, is the best way.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Um, yeah. So that's a really nice outlook on life, I think.
Yeah.
And you're giving me hope for the future.
Well, that's good.
Because I think right now there's a lot of conflict.
Yeah,
And
of course, especially like even just looking at stuff like the upcoming like political like elections and stuff, you see how much divide there is and how like people let their political views affect their like feelings and thoughts of others. And it's like we see that all the time now, like especially in our day with like the media and all that stuff. Like it really doesn't matter what people's views are. You can still be kind to each other.
Yeah, but you're wrong. No, right? I mean, isn't that what it is?
Yes,
That's really
exactly.
what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. You know, David, do you have any other questions for this? I think this is a great little interview. I really like where your head's at.
Thank you.
I think there's good reasoning in what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
And
Why do you think your reasoning is good?
good question.
I don't know. I think it makes sense in that the general like thing that people want is to be kind, so that people are kind to them as well. And so I think that like it just makes sense that people would want to be kind. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, good. I love this conversation. Any questions for me?
No, not really.
Okay. You have another class yet today, or are you cutting out early?
I had anatomy at 11 and now I'm headed to our open lab so that I can get some more studying in for our quiz next week.
Okay. You doing the football game today?
Tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was today.
You
were right.
I got some more information
Good.
a little bit ago about it.
Good.
So.
Yep. Planning to go tailgate before.
Yep, that's I hear the tailgating is quite a thing up here.
Yep, it is.
Do you go out to tailgate?
Yeah. I've been to past games. Like my brother graduated from here in May, so I've been up to tailgates before, and it's a little unique community that we have here at SGSU.
Excellent. Well, good. Lilly, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And good luck at school.
Thank you.
And your future endeavors as a
Thank you.
physical therapist.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. 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 That was a. Yeah. That gives me hopes for the future. It really does.
Yeah.
You know.
Can you think of, like, do you felt like you were challenging enough?
No. because this is one of those things where, I mean, I did some challenging, like, can you think of a time that it would be bad to be nice?
Yeah.
Right? So I did some challenging there. I don't know if I would say enough or not enough, but some.
How do you decide when to challenge more
Well,
than others?
It's our own personal biases, I think.
Okay.
You know, we've got different things that we perceive and the way we want it to be. So there's probably a little bit with unconsciously we probably have a little bit of activism in us that want to challenge different things in a different way. I know everything can be challenged, but I was really just this one was I was just so pleased. Like I really was just like, wow, the future is it gives me hope for the future. So
Yeah.
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 So I was a little bit smitten.
Sometimes the negative aspects of what the future might look like can be distracting, and we don't notice some of the what might be hopeful about it.
Yeah.
So back to the challenging part. Like, would you feel comfortable challenging someone who holds a conclusion that you hold, but is holding it for what you think might be insufficient reasons?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So how would you go about doing that?
It's the same, the contrarian view. You know, the opposite side of what they're saying. Just take it from the other angle, from the negative side up. What are the harms of this? I believe this, you believe this. What are the potential harms in believing this? How, you know, and just to get them to think about possibilities that they could be wrong, or how it could actually impact people the wrong way or be harmful, I guess.
Okay. So, not necessarily the goal, but if someone were to change their mind about something that you agreed with them on, based on them recognizing the poor reasoning that they're using, what would that be like for you?
I think I'd keep asking questions to try to have them think about it a different way. And, you know, as long as their reasoning is sound, I may be wrong too, right? So it doesn't mean that you know, I'm not right all the time, like I was saying before in the other interview. It's like I'm not right all the time. Nobody holds all the answers. So we have to have that ability for ourselves to look at ourselves and go, I could be wrong as well, and be willing to challenge ourselves too. You know, or it could be they still end up believing in the same thing, but they use a different methodology to get there. That's more sound. That's another possibility, another outcome there too. So, and then who are we to say that our reasoning is the right way too? I mean, I think we're trying to get, there's no such thing as perfection or perfect right or perfect wrong. It's like to be less wrong, I think, is more important. This is where I shy away from the black and whites again, and there's more nuance, there's more context, and the way we frame things is influenced. You know, our context is kind of how we frame things. So a lot of it really is framing, right? Because we all live within a frame, and that would be the same with the conversation with Ali. You know, he came to the conclusion that, well, the Muslim is Muslim because he grew up and his family was Muslim, and that's the frame that he lived in, right? He's Christian because he grew up in a Christian frame. And he came to the realization that all these frames exist, and I think he also, you know, when asked, how do we know which one holds the truth, I held up Mo here and said, how does she know though? Which one? And then it came down more to personal truth. You have to kind of read it, and I think I kind of left it at that, and just but it's most personal truth too. So, you know,
Yeah.
I think I left him thinking. And again, it's not. I don't necessarily want to change people's mind. I just want them to be more conscious about what they're thinking about, and maybe being just a little less sure, and leaving openings for other people to potentially influence them and to come to a closer to truth, right? Rather than this is true, this is our worlds put together and it gets us as close as we can be. So,
Are there any personal falsehoods?
any what?
We have personal truth, right?
Yeah,
Or the idea of it.
yeah.
Are there any personal falsehoods?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that's an interesting. See, you're the ultimate contrarian, and that's where I'm saying that after watching you, that's one thing that I've really picked up from you is it makes it a lot easier if you're being the devil's advocate and you're asking questions from that standpoint. It makes it a lot easier. It's like you're defending somebody else's view that's opposite of theirs. And I think that makes it an easier way to get us to questions more naturally, but being nice about it, right? And just asking from the other side. So,
Yeah. Cool.
yeah,
Well, we're getting interviews like jackrabbits out here.
just like jackrabbits. Luckily, you were at the Jackrabbit
yeah, Jackrabbit Central.